Once upon a time, in a land far away, stood a magnificent castle, perched atop a mountain of pure, glistening glass. The mountain was impossibly steep and slippery, a daunting challenge for anyone who dared to dream of reaching the top. Inside this castle lived a beautiful princess, known throughout the kingdom for her wit and grace. But she was trapped, waiting for a hero brave enough to conquer the treacherous glass mountain and win her hand in marriage. The king, her father, had declared a grand challenge. On the slopes of the glass mountain, he had placed a golden apple. Any knight who could climb the slippery peak and retrieve the apple would not only win the princess's hand but also half the kingdom. Knights came from far and wide, clad in shining armor, their horses decked in vibrant colors. They were the bravest, the strongest, the most celebrated warriors of their time. One by one, they charged at the glass mountain. Their powerful horses galloped with all their might, but as soon as their hooves touched the slick, glassy surface, they would slip and slide, tumbling back down to the bottom in a clatter of armor and pride. Some tried to dismount and climb on foot, but the glass offered no grip, and they too would slide helplessly back down. Day after day, the knights tried and failed, their confidence turning to frustration and then to despair. The glass mountain seemed truly unconquerable. Watching from the sidelines was a young man, often called the simpleton by the villagers. He wasn't a knight and had no shining armor or a powerful steed. He was a humble stable boy, responsible for caring for the horses of the knights who mocked him. While they boasted of their strength and valor, he quietly observed. He noticed the fear in the horses' eyes, the desperation in the knights' attempts. He didn't see a challenge of brute force. He saw a puzzle that needed to be solved with cleverness, not just strength. One night, while tending to the horses, he had an idea. He went to the blacksmith and asked for a special set of horseshoes. These weren't ordinary horseshoes. He had designed them with sharp, cattle-like claws of iron, designed to dig into the glass and find purchase where smooth metal could not. The blacksmith laughed at his strange request, but, intrigued by the young man's determination, agreed to forge them. The boy paid him with the few coins he had saved. The next day, as the knights prepared for another round of futile attempts, the young man appeared. He wasn't riding a mighty warhorse, but a sturdy, calm mare from the stables. He wore simple clothes, and his only armor was his unwavering resolve. The knights and the crowd roared with laughter. "Look at the simpleton," they jeered. "Does he think he can succeed where we have failed?" Ignoring their taunts, the boy gently patted his horse, whispering words of encouragement. He approached the base of the glass mountain. He didn't charge wildly like the others. Instead, he started slowly, letting his horse get a feel for the strange surface. The specially crafted iron claws on the horseshoes dug into the glass with a screeching sound, creating tiny footholds. Step by careful step, the mare began to ascend. The crowd fell silent, their mockery turning to stunned disbelief. The climb was slow and perilous. The wind howled around them, and the sheer glass reflected the sky, making it hard to look down. But the boy kept his focus, guiding his horse with a steady hand and a calm voice. He trusted his idea, and he trusted his horse. Higher and higher they climbed, a small, determined figure against the vast, shimmering mountain. The knights below could only watch in awe, their arrogance melting away into admiration and regret. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he reached the golden apple. With a triumphant cry, he plucked it from its perch. The climb down was just as treacherous, but he navigated it with the same patience and care. When he reached the bottom, the crowd, which had once laughed at him, erupted into thunderous applause. The king, watching from his balcony, smiled. He saw not a simpleton, but a young man of incredible ingenuity and courage. The princess rushed out to meet him. She had watched his entire ascent, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and hope. She didn't see his simple clothes or lack of a title. She saw a hero who had used his mind and his perseverance to achieve the impossible. He had proven that true worth isn't about noble birth or fancy armor, but about courage, intelligence, and the will to never give up. The boy presented the golden apple to the king. True to his word, the king granted him the princess's hand in marriage and half the kingdom. The knights who had once mocked him now bowed their heads in respect. They had learned a valuable lesson that day. Never underestimate someone based on their appearance or station in life. True strength comes from within. And so, the stable boy who was once called a simpleton became a prince. He and the princess ruled their kingdom with wisdom and kindness, and their story was told for generations. The tale of the Glass Mountain became a legend, a timeless reminder that, with a little bit of cleverness and a whole lot of heart, no obstacle is too great to overcome. It teaches us that our background doesn't define our future, and that the greatest victories are often won not by the strongest, but by the most perseverant. It is a story about looking at a problem differently and finding a unique solution when everyone else is trying the same failed approach. It's a reminder that your true value lies in your character and your courage to try. Thank you so much for joining me for this classic tale. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more adventures into the world of fairy tales and folklore. Let me know in the comments which story you'd like to hear next. See you again soon.